But, before we get out of here tonight, we can't leave you without this because we got some super big news. We've been talking about this for a while, but we can just leak a little bit of it right now in this next segment that we like to call Comics I Copped, which always feels so weird doing that without the, effect on my voice. I need a button to push, so I'm not sitting here on video like going.
You got to auto-tune your mic, bro.
Yeah, for real. I need something. Need to, hit that switch. But anyway, Comics I Copped. Comics I Copped, where we talk about all the comics that we copped this week, that we've been reading this week. Make sure you use that hashtag on Twitter, on Instagram. That's Comics I Copped. Copped with 2 P's. Get it right. Get it tight. But this week, we were just slandering Batman, so I got to go back. I went into a comic store this week and picked up 20 issues of Tom King's run from the latest Batman run for $20. It was a great cop, a bunch of old issues for $20. Can't beat it. And so I got to read it through, that whole run. And this section of it, the actual run is going to be 100 issues long. That's Tom King's planned run on Batman. And I was actually talking with a friend of mine once, and he was like, if you need 100 issues to talk about Batman, maybe you could, edit that down a bit. But I so far have really enjoyed, the majority of it. And we're approaching issue 50. So we're approaching the halfway point. And I've really enjoyed Tom King's run on Batman. I can't be mad at it. Like the 20 issues I bought were like the War of Jokes and Riddles. That whole section was in there, which is a part of Batman's history where the Joker and the Riddler go to war over who gets to kill the Batman. And it's a really interesting breakdown of both Batman and Joker. It has one of the illest issues to me of comics this year, or I think it was last year when it dropped, is the dinner where Bruce Wayne invites the Joker and the Riddler to dinner so he can try and hash out their differences and decide who actually gets to kill Batman. And, Tom's just been killing on it. But my question, Jeff, I know you've been reading this series as well. And is it that Tom King is making Batman out to be kind of like even more ruthless and more of an asshole while also exploring this whole love story that he's doing on with Catwoman?
Well, I think it's not more so that he's making him ruthless. He's showing you how he's grown by showing you his past and showing you his future. And he's using different characters to accentuate these qualities that make Batman who he is. And I think that's what defines Tom King's run to date. When you get to the Superman issues, when he's with Superman,
oh man,
bro, I haven't seen Superman written like that before.
Yeah.
And the main idea of his arc with Batman and Superman are that at their core, they're the same character, but they just had divergent paths that made them different. But at their core, put it to you like this, that arc with Superman makes the whole Martha thing from Batman versus Superman, it actually makes it matter, which is kind of crazy to think about it, where it doesn't seem as contrived as it did in the movie. But he would be the type to make that matter in a way where you're like, wow. He actually does, in a way, tie what makes Batman Batman, what makes Superman Superman, and why are they the world's finest? Like, why are Batman and Superman best friends? How? Like, if you ever ask how, those 4 books, or I think it's a 2-part arc or 2 or 4-part arc, I can't remember, but that arc defines it. And you rarely have seen them dive into Batman's love interest other than superficial, and like, why the hell would he fall for Catwoman? What in their history makes them compatible? You see that through their saga. You get different aspects of his villains, different parts of their personality. His Joker is wild complex. Like, his Joker ain't even for the jokes.
No.
He has a Joker who can't laugh.
Yeah.
Because he's over the jokes. Like, it's crazy to think about it. And that's what makes his run so far so unique, man. Because every Batman, from Morrison to Scott Snyder, they've all had their thing about Batman, right? So it's like Grant Morrison had the mythos. Scott Snyder was more about Gotham and the city of Gotham and how that impacted Batman. And this is what makes Batman Batman. Like you get that from all of them, but this one it's diving into what makes these characters matter. What are the aspects that you haven't seen yet? And it infuriates me how good he is writing.
Bruh, trust me. I'm over here working on these scripts, and Tom King, like, I even tweeted him when I bought him. I was like, 20 issues, that'll make me feel more inadequate about everything I'm writing right now. And like you said, it's really interesting because like Scott Snyder just did his whole year one run, which I think they're turning into an animated movie, which explored Batman's history. And I know Grant Morrison did a little of that in his run. And now, in the War of Jokes and Riddles, it's like every writer always wants to do their take on the origin of Batman or how he first really became Batman. Like, after, like in one part of that Superman thing, he was talking about how a year ago I was kicking trees, like I was still training a year ago, and now I'm standing next to a man from Krypton.
Right.
So, it's interesting to see that. But like you said, the main core of this is on issue 50 is going to be the wedding of Batman and Catwoman. But he's going all the way to issue 100 with this. And he says the whole issue, all 100 issues, is about this love story between Batman and Catwoman. And that's been one of the most interesting parts because, like you said, while other writers have had Batman have, serious love interests, no one has ever had him do something like this where they really go into why he would really be attracted to someone like Catwoman, why she would be attracted to him, why their love has always been this weird thing that you've always seen throughout the comics and even in the films. And I'm loving it so far. Like you said, I'm so mad at Tom King. Every time I tweet about him, he always lights it. When I say he's going to come on the show or ask him to come on the show, silence from that man. But if you haven't read Batman, make sure you're picking it up. Also, check out Omega Man. I tell everybody about this because everyone talks about his run on the Vision, which is also one of my favorite books of all time. But Omega Men is one that people don't know about as much. And he wrote that. It's one of his first books he actually wrote. It's 12 issues. You can get the graphic novel. It's all 12 issues collected. And it's just such an ill story with these really obscure-ass characters from the DC universe. And he just makes them his own and just tells this ill, dope story in 12 issues. So make sure you check that out as well. I mean, anything by him, Sheriff of Babylon, Mr. Miracle, the dude is on fire. He's just a dope-ass writer. One of these days, he's going to reply to these tweets and come on the show. Tom King, TK is his handle. Comics Like Cop, let him know. We'd love him to have him on Fanbro Show at any time.
Yeah, send him those ats. Let him know, like, yo, you need to be on Fanbros. Maybe he'll sub us in a Batman book, and maybe the Fanbros versions of us in the book will try to get him on a show, and they will fail too.
Yo.
Make sure he knows he needs to be on this. We don't bite, we're gentle, and we give you the best damn interview you're going to get. So, Tom, don't front.
I mean, you've already heard it. You heard the Boots Riley interview on this one. Make sure you're subscribed to us on all those different things, YouTube, iTunes, all those places. Like I said, we got something really big. Thank you for everyone using that Comics Like Copped hashtag because we got huge things. I can just say a little bit about it right now. We're going to be doing something really big with Comixology. That's right. You heard it. Comixology times Comics Like Copped. It's going down. More information on that next week's show. Make sure you're subscribed so you can get this info because you need it in your life. Big things going on with the website, fanbros.com. I know you've been seeing all the articles, but it is some major changes. As we go into the summer, fall year, it's, 2018, it's lit. It's going to be crazy. Jeff, anything else before we get out of here?
I mean, you see what we're doing here, Comics Like Cop, Comixology. Why you think we don't need to get paid for reviews? We got sponsors, my G. The price is up. We're like the Dow Jones, and we are unaffected by the market because we are the market. So get out my mentions talking about I am bought. I am not bought. I am paid for. There's a difference.